What is up, everybody? Thanks for coming back to the channel on another video. Today we're going to be looking at my famous Orange Ripple JS. It's a beautiful one right there. Look at the tail on that guy. This is my giant Orange Ripple bush. There's multiple plants in here. Ooh, look at that specimen. That's next to perfect. As soon as he turns orange. Loads of them down here. Now this is a variety I originally hybrid, hand pollinated. I crossed Orange Habanero with yellow Scotch Bonnet, and I did that back in 2008. Then I grew it out for about 4 years until 2012 when I got my hands on the Reaper, and then I hybrid the Orange Ripple with the Reaper, and it basically formed the tail, but I didn't get much heat out of it. So I continued to grow it out, and it's actually, most of them are actually less heat than a habanero. But it's an overall, ooh, look at that guy. Overall, it's a fairly mild variety, and it usually stays less than habanero heat. But I've been growing out this one since 2012, and it has not disappointed. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick a few of these nicer specimens like this one, and we're gonna take them over to the table, and we're gonna go ahead and cut them open, give them a smell and a taste test, and we'll see how that goes. So let's go over here. Found this one. It's got a little bit of softness, so we're gonna go ahead and pick that guy. That one's got a little softness. It looks pretty good. We're gonna take that guy. Maybe we can find one back here. That's a little bit off pheno. That's a little bit off pheno. Looks like there's some decent ones back there. I'm gonna have to crawl up there and grab those since this bush is so huge. Let's see what we got down here. Not quite the specimen I'm looking for. This one that we looked at earlier looks pretty good. That's a nice looking one. Put him in the container. Go up here, maybe check a couple of these. Not quite what I'm looking for. Some back here. Man, these things have really grown. Still a whole bunch of green ones that I got coming. That's a beautiful one right there. We're about the second week in October here in Minnesota. But these are all in the greenhouse. That's a pretty nice one. So these will continue to grow right up until probably the end of November. Because then it just gets too cold inside the greenhouse. Alright, we got a few. Yeah, there's that one with the crazy tail. We'll take that one too. And maybe we'll cut up some of these off pheno ones too. We'll save those for We'll save those for some hot sauce maybe. Yeah, see there's another off pheno one there. That one's got a cool tail. We'll take that one, even though we're not gonna save it for seed. And look at this guy right here. That's a nice one right there. We'll throw him in with the pile. All right, we got a few here. Looking pretty good from the pepper bush. That's I think 3 or 4 plants, and I just kind of let them fall over this year. A couple of okay looking ones right there. That one looks pretty good. Let's grab him. All right, let's take these over to the table and let's cut some up. So we got a bin full right here, a container full, and I pulled out some decent looking ones right here. There we go, got that other one in my hand. I'm super happy with the way these keep turning out. Now I've been growing this out in my closed greenhouse for what, 12, 13 years now, isolated, and even at that amount of time I'm still getting phenos once in a while, which is it's very common for peppers. Set those down. Look at the tail on that guy again. Just crazy. Really cool looking habanero Scotch bonnet variety. Now some get a little bit of floral taste, some don't. You know, I've had some that are hotter than habanero. I've had some that have less heat. It's pretty good all around pepper. Probably one of my favorites for making hot sauce, like a habanero hot sauce, and then you can add fruit if you want, you know, while it's cooking down or fermenting. Let's get I'm gonna get my camera set up and we'll cut these guys open. All right, let's grab our trusty knife here. We'll start with this guy right here, almost a perfect specimen. So you can see the outline of the pepper. Look at all those little curls and squiggles. Yeah, definitely very heavy habanero smell. Sweetness. Little tiny bit of floral with the smell anyway. It's another really nice one right there. They range in size. This is probably one of the bigger ones right here. It's got just an absolute beautiful look to them. I'm working on a Orange Ripple Racer right now, which basically it looks exactly the same as the Orange Ripple, but it has red racing stripes going all down and up and down vertical on the pepper. And that was a natural pheno that happened about 5 years ago, and I've been growing the Orange Ripple Racer out for probably 4 or 5 years now, trying to hold it, and it is being extremely picky when it comes to holding those stripes. It's just not growing out enough. Not enough good specimens. Yeah, look at how cool that is. Another really neat looking one right there. Way back in the day, when I was working on this, I think it was 2013 or 2014. It was right after I moved into my new house. My basement actually flooded, and my grow room got all flooded, and I was down to 1 Orange Ripple seed, and I got it to come back, and the rest is history. The tail on that guy. So I'm gonna grab this one, just give it a little taste quick. That's definitely got some habanero heat. It's like ooh, that hit me a little harder than I thought it was gonna. That was definitely has habanero heat, but it's lingering. It's lingering on my tongue. It's lingering in my throat. That one's definitely, I say, a little bit hotter than your typical habanero. But like, you know, we can, woo, a little hotter. That one, let's try this little smaller one with the huge tail. Yeah, that one has significantly less heat. It could just be the age of the pepper too. Let's I'm gonna grab another one out of here. We can cut up and give this guy a taste test. And this one has a slightly off pheno. A little more scotchy. That one, less heat, quite a bit more citrus sweetness though. That one definitely has a better flavor, but now, oh wow, the heat is building. Definitely building in my throat. Ooh. Need a V8 after that one. Here's another one that has a pretty nice looking specimen, how it's supposed to look. Try one more here. That one has almost no smell at all. Not a ton of heat. It's got a little bit of heat there though. Not anywhere near the last two. A couple more off phenos right there. So you'll have to check my eBay seed store. I should have these relisted soon. I usually sell out of them pretty quickly every fall. I should have enough stocked this year where everybody should be able to get some. Last couple years have not been great for growing here in Minnesota with the Canadian wildfires, and it's just heat and then rain and then heat and then rain, and just they never get a chance to dry out. That's why I'm growing all these in the greenhouse this year. So all these plants right here are Midnight Ripple, which I've been trying to grow out the last couple years. And the difference is these have the darker stems, purpley stems, and the darker leaves. As you can see, almost none of them have the correct pheno. This one's kind of there, but not quite. Got some smaller ones over here. Now those are all turning out purple and then turn to orange. You can see these are completely off pheno. These are close, but not quite there. And then you can see these are pretty much completely off. So we won't be saving seed for those. And then same with here. That's the Midnight Ripple. Hopefully I can get that one stabilized in the next 4 or 5 years or so. But the Midnight Ripple JS and the Orange Ripple JS. Now there is a Red Ripple JS2 that I've also been developing for the last 4 or 5 years. I think I released it, no, maybe it's been 6-7 years now. I released it I think 2 years ago. I won't have any of those this year. So, thanks for joining me on another Pepper Origins video right here in my greenhouse in Toadstool Gardens, where we were checking out the Orange Ripple JS. If this is one you've never tried, try it out. It's probably my favorite habanero Scotch Bonnet variety. Excellent taste, decent heat. Definitely one to grow out. It's a fun one. Good for hot sauce. But until next time, Jason with Toadstool Gardens. Happy growing, and thanks for watching.